availability. So what does Google? I was just telling you the story, right? How does the Google achieve the redundancy in terms of all the things? So one thing is that they will have big racks, of course, right? And the way they do is, so you will have one hard disk here, another hard disk here. Okay. Now, what happens is, they replicate the data. So let me just. So what they do, this is one of the data center. We'll talk about the data center later as well. Okay. So this is one of the DC data center where they have bought the hardware, multiple hardware. So this is also hardware. All these things are constituting hardware only. Okay. Now what they do is they make a multiple copy of it. So suppose you have uploaded your picture in Google Photos. So what they do, they make a multiple copy. They make a multiple copy here, and they store one copy on one of the rack. So this is the entire big, huge, humongous Almira kind of a rack where your photo gets uploaded, basically written to that hard disk, and then same thing, it goes to the another hard disk also, and then similar way. So it basically made 3 copies at one data centers. So that means that if this entirely goes down, this will still function. Now, think about, so you have achieved some kind of redundancy here, and that redundancy will help you to achieve the availability. So availability comes at the cost of redundancy, right? So you have still 2 copies of it, and fine. Now think about this, that these are at one place, right? In one data center somewhere, maybe in Arizona or somewhere, the entire power supply goes down, right? Then this also will go down, this also will go down. What you will do, right? So the way they do is they do the redundancy at the power supply as well. Okay, so that is the beauty of it. So what they do, so any country or anything, right? They will have different grids. I hope you might be knowing about the power grid, right? You might have heard about that, the power grid failure has happened. So what they do is they take the power from different grids, north, south, east, west. They take from multiple grids and they bifurcate those power supply also. So one will be getting a power supply of one rack will be getting from the north grid, another will be getting from the south. So even if the north grid fails, the south grid will still be functioning. That is the power supply level. You will have at the network level also, that if you have a vendor like Verizon, for example, in the US, or in India, Airtel, they will also take from Vodafone. They'll also take from Jio, right? So they will try to achieve the maximum redundancy they can at any level, at hardware level, at network level, at power level, to achieve the highest level of availability. Any questions on this?
Yeah, so I have one question. So
Yeah.
does this mean that they have like as per the region, like we have 4 regions, right? So they have that many copies of each data. Does that mean the same?
Yeah, so let me come to the data centers and the regions. Yes, so they will definitely do the multiple copies. Let me tell you again one more thing about the Google itself. So YouTube, I'll answer your question, okay, in a bit. So how does YouTube works, right? Just we are going into little, briefly about that YouTube. How does it upload works, okay? So what does YouTube do is, when you upload a video to YouTube, it makes a multiple copy. So it makes n number of copy of your video. So when you upload it, it basically makes n number of copy, like 3, 4, 5. And what do they do is, so if this is the world map, suppose, right? And you are somewhere in India and you are uploading the video from here. So first it will upload the data to your local data center. So if there is a data center in India, it will upload to India data center. If it is not, it will go to the neighboring country. Suppose Singapore is here, or Dubai city is there. So they might, if they don't have any data centers in India, if that company, so like YouTube, suppose they have it, so they will upload the video to one of the copy to India data centers, and then they will replicate the same data to at least 3 plus 1 or 5 plus 1 or 7 plus 1 number of data centers. Okay, so what will happen is, I'll tell you why it is needed. Okay, and you might be you'll understand that the beauty around it. Why do we do the multiple copies of it? And if it is not there, it just says that what is our neighboring or nearest data centers. It will go and upload it there, and then later replication starts happening to the other data centers which is there. Now see the so upload part is done. You have uploaded it, and you might be wondering that, okay, it is to achieve the availability, but it is not only the availability part of it, right? So definitely, yes, if this goes down, Mumbai has a flood and it's no more accessible, so you want to watch a video, it'll go and take it from the Singapore. Now the reason there are multiple copies, one is the availability, second is the to save the network hop in order to give you the experience, and in order to stream the data, stream the video, stream the audio to your device. And just assume that you're in the USA, okay, and I have uploaded a video from India, and it basically stored that video in India data centers and nowhere else. Now from the USA, you are trying to access that video. I shared a link to a USA friend, or that video got viral and people are also accessing from the US. What will happen? To get the video from the India data center to USA, there are thousands of network hops. So there is a undersea cables there, and there are lots of WAN, LAN, there are wires and everything. There are a lot of hops, and that's how finally it goes to the governance, auditing, this, that, blah, blah, a lot of things, right? As a there's a country transfer here. So it reaches with multiple hops.